All right, so quick we quick weekly outlook for the upcoming week. So on the previous week, I mentioned that because we've had this higher time frame sweep and we've had this these bearish closures, we formed this bearish order block and this bearish breaker. I wanted to see if we can get an open high low close into this breaker and order block and see if we can get a continuation. So that's what happened. We pushed up into it and then we had a sell off. And then on the daily, I mentioned that we have this volume imbalance here, which lines up with the breaker and the order block. So I wanted to see if price can tap into this and sell off. So we came up to it perfectly on Tuesday, and then we had FOMC on Wednesday, which gave us the displacement downwards, and then we saw Thursday being a continuation, and then Friday being typical consolidation after two large expansion profiles. So typical weekly open high low close. Now this week we have this low being the drawn liquidity. So now I would like to see, firstly we have the previous day high and we have this small volume imbalance, so also lining up with the 4-hour fair value gap and order block. So I want to see if we can sweep the previous day high into these key levels and then see if we can get a sell off here. And if we don't see a reaction from here, then we can also watch for the Thursday highs, I believe. Thursday highs, yeah. So that would be this daily fair value gap, but I think we can probably leave this open for now as a breakaway gap and sell off from over here, and then see if we can get that push into the 17th of October lows as the final draw liquidity. And I'm pretty sure we'll get this week if we expect another bearish print. So just to end the year, a nice weekly expansion into the 98 level for DXY. If we look at the economic calendar, Monday we have CAN news. We'll also go over UCAD in a second. Tuesday we have also Monday we can actually see expansion on UCAD into the drawn liquidity, which is what I'm watching for DXY, the equivalent for UCAD. So 8:30 UCAD news, or not UCAD, but 8:30 CAD news. Tuesday we have pound news London, euro, pound news again. So typically I would avoid London when we have these type of profiles. And then New York we have I'm not sure, I don't think this is NFP, but yeah, non-farm employment change, so that's not NFP, but core retail sales. Lots of news events on a Tuesday, so this could be some fuckery type of price action, but we'll still keep an eye on price on this day. So lower time frames will probably be avoided on a Tuesday. Try to stick to the 1 hour time frame to avoid getting any wicks out, any stupid trades. So yeah, I would avoid that. Wednesday, just the pound news. Thursday, we also have CPI on that day. So interesting economic calendar for the week. Lots of volatility, so there's a lot to watch out. And then Friday, just pound news on that day. But yeah, this is between Tuesday to Thursday, we'll probably see a lot of expansion, but it's not really like looking at the calendar, it's not really a specific day that you can say, oh yeah, we'll probably have this, we'll probably anticipate this. So we'll just have to go by day and see what price will offer us. So, but yeah, just by looking at price, we know that from Tuesday to Thursday we can expect expansion between any of these days, and we already have the key level and it's some sort of inducement being the previous day high. So expecting the high of the week to form somewhere around here. Drawn liquidity is down here. know that Tuesday to Thursday we can expect expansion, and Monday with CAN news can give volatility to USD. We'll quickly go over UCAD anyway now that I've mentioned CAN news on Monday. So let me quickly so anyway, on USD CAD, on last week we tapped into the daily fair value gap and we sold off, which is actually where I managed to catch a short from here. So now we have these triple equal lows, which is the clear draw on liquidity for me: initial consolidation, accumulation, smart money reversal, low risk sell, second leg right here, and now we're expecting the last distribution leg towards these lows. That's the draw liquidity. So on UCAD, ideally I'd like to see a sweep of the Friday highs. I believe it is the Friday highs. Still have this 4-hour fair value gap and order block, so I'd like to see if we can sweep into it, but we don't have to, because we can also come and run up into this high. We have these equal highs here into this 1-hour fair value gap, and then we could also sell off from there. So I'd watch for both levels and see how price reacts to both of them. Both are valid key levels to look for shorts and into these lows. But then at the same time, you have to watch out for what DXY is doing as well. So that's what I'm watching out for UCAD. And then on Euro, also delete all of this. Euro, I'm watching for a sweep of the previous day low into this 4-hour fair value gap. We also have this daily fair value gap. We can also come into this lower fair value gap, but same on DXY. We can also come up to this fair value gap, but we don't have to. It can stay left open as a breakaway gap. So watching for this upper fair value gap as the first key level, and then if no reaction, then this will be the next to watch out for. But yeah, draw liquidity, previous week highs, first draw as well, and then pound, draw liquidity as well. If DXY, the thing is with pound, if you look at if you look at Euro pound, I initially said that I was expecting continuation sells after we have this this sweep, and we've had this displacement on a daily and weekly. But if you see what happened from the previous weeks, on Tuesday we took out a previous week low, displaced higher. This already is not a bearish daily closure. You want to see price at least show some sort of respect towards this propulsion block and fair value gap, but close through the middle and close through the majority of this inversion fair value gap with no bearish reaction, and then this next daily closure basically invalidates the bias. So right now I'm anticipating after the sweep and displacement that we probably continue higher on Euro pound and take out this high at least, and then maybe just consolidate here, or we just continue being bullish and go for these highs as the next draw. And this is just actually a retracement into this weekly order block, and we just continued this bullish move on Euro pound that we've been sustaining since the start of the year. So we still have this high as the next draw liquidity as well, so we could just see another weekly candle push higher on Euro pound, which would mean GU would be the weaker pair, which means you wouldn't want to look for longs on GU. But if DXY is bearish anyway, this should still go up, but just not as clean as you would like to see if Euro pound was bearish. So yeah, we have this weekly order block and we have this Friday low. Price could either do that, or we could see a previous week low sweep into that weekly fair value gap. So could either take out this low, or we could get a deeper retracement and then take out this low, and then might even form SMT with EU and DXY here, where DXY doesn't take out the previous week high, or EU doesn't take the previous week low, and sustain that bullish rally. So this is still the drawn liquidity for me for GU. And then UJ, I'm not watching this pair. Consolidation on the daily, so I'm not watching it. Swiss, I'm not watching it either. Consolidation on the daily. I said I wanted to see a sell-off after sweeping this high, but the Monday closure invalidated it. So instead, we took out this high, and then we saw the midweek reversal and then sell-off, but there wasn't any setup. If you look at the hourly time frame that I would have taken, we just after FOMC, price just died and just absolutely tanked. So nothing that also this is a tape read, so let me just minimize that. But yeah, so nothing that I would have taken inside of this absolute dump from Swiss. Same thing on UJ. I'll quickly go over that I was watching. That's also an old tape read. I think I said I wanted to see a sell-off from this high, and then Monday's closure also invalidated the bias. So clear out my charts. Didn't get any reaction from there, and we saw again Monday's daily candle closure did not confirm anything, and then Tuesday's daily candle closure just invalidated the whole bias. So not watching this. Swiss, I'm not watching this either. I should also clear out the charts. But I was anticipating this lower daily fair value gap would be the next strong liquidity, and then we met at that with the FOMC dump, and then Thursday being a continuation. So Bitcoin, this was the trade that I was in previously, but like I said in the trade breakdown, I closed the trade. But yeah, Bitcoin, I don't really have a strong bias on it. Weekly closure looks pretty bearish to me, but I'm not 100% convinced that we would go lower here, because if you look at the daily, this also looks like consolidation to me. So we could run up the highs one more time and tap the weekly fair value gap. So this I'm not too sure, but again, we could also sell off from here if we confirm close below these up close candles, and then we actually have. So but to be honest, I'm still not too convinced. We have closed below these up close candles, but yeah, I'm not too convinced that we would still go lower from here. But yeah, still looks 50-50 to me, but we'll see how this plays out throughout the week. This could be a 3-bar swing here on the weekly, or this could also be consolidation. So this I'm avoiding. Only way I'm looking for shorts on Bitcoin is if we tap the weekly fair value gap. If not, and we just dump through here, then that's it. I'm not interested in Bitcoin. So, and then gold. Gold had a bearish bias after this sweep here, and then we had another sweep here, and then we had an SMT at these highs of silver, and then I wanted to see price come and use this 4-hour fair value gap to sell off, which we did. Took out this low instead of these lows, which I was anticipating, and then we had this push back up, and then we formed this 4-hour order block. And then once I seen us take out this low and form this 4-hour order block, I was anticipating price, because that's not a bearish that's not something bearish that you want to see. That's actually a bullish signature in price. I was expecting price to take out the previous week high. Unfortunately, there was no setup for me to take here, so I didn't actually take anything on gold. But yeah, formed this order block, retraced into it, and then pushed high into the previous week high, and now it looks like price is gonna actually take out the all-time highs on gold here. So typical gold stuff in bullish trend in order flow, taking out this low, slowly grinding higher. So likely this low stays intact and we just go all the way for all-time highs here. So probably nothing for me. I mean, you could probably take a long here and then place your stops below here, but then you wouldn't get more than a 2-hour trade here. So something that's worth it, not too sure, but yeah, I'm expecting most likely all-time highs on gold in my opinion. So if something sets up on gold, that might actually be a pair that I'll be watching this week. But yeah, not interested in shorts anymore. I'm only watching for longs on gold. So, and then I'm not really watching NQ or ES here. This is also a tape read. But yeah, let me go on the actual CME feed. So this, I even said this in my last weekly outlook, that if we have all these lows stacked up here, you don't want to see price. You don't want to actually look for longs here, because price can do something like this, where one candle just liquidates all these lows that have been built up, because all of this is liquidity. Every previous day low here, that's all liquidity being built up. So slow grind higher in a consolidation, and price just liquidates it all in one go. And then now I actually do think if we can get a closure above this 4-hour Fair Value gap, because we've had a stop run, then I think we can actually see all-time highs here. So something like this, invert the Fair Value gap, get a retest, maybe a setup inside here, and then I'm sure minimum, if you invert this, minimum is these highs being next, and then we'll see if all-time highs, I think all-time highs will also be next at this point, if we can get a daily closure above here. So I'm actually somewhat interested in NQ and ES here, so we'll see if we're able to get above this 4-hour Fair Value gap on a closure basis. But yeah, we'll see. I think looking at the economic calendar this week definitely looks promising for majors, and then yeah, we also have an SMT here as well, another confluence to expect a reversal here. So yeah, a few promising charts: gold longs, NQ longs, ES longs, Euro longs, pound longs, UCAD shorts. Those are the, in my opinion, the best looking charts. So we'll see what this week's brings with the volatility that we're expecting as well on the last week of the month before Christmas, because obviously on the week of Christmas we don't trade that due to no volatility. So yeah, nothing here. So last week of the month, after that we'll see what January brings for us. So yeah.